Deception. Author's note. I know you guys have been waiting many days for this chapter. However, I will warn you, this one will not be the same as the others. Here's a note from famous writer Braden Gua. After the first half of the book, I knew there were a few captivating twists, but when I read this one, oh, why don't you see for yourself? Speaker shifts to Lollylop. Some of these people do not pay. Mr. Face plucks all their hairs. When have I ever heard this? I thought to myself before I felt someone push me against a wall. My head hit the firm surface, causing my vision to become blurred, followed by a high-pitched stinging sound in my ear as I collapsed due to the slippery ground. I tried to exit the bathroom when I entered the hall. I began to lose conscious, but as my eyes closed, I witnessed my doppelganger behind me, approaching my position. I woke up only to see my outfit had changed to a suit with a yellow tie coupled with a scarf almost suffocating my face. I knew it was you. Why are you to do this? I yelled at the man, sitting calmly near a warm fire. He did not speak in response. I looked around the sand black as ash along with a purple lake a great distance away. We were around 3-day trips away from the Shellyhaga, so an escape will be difficult. Even if you leave, look at yourself. The man told, your mind is not important to your family, only your face. However, I will still give you another chance. Come with me, you can see your daughter again, your dearest. I had no choice. I had to agree. I had to see my family. Everything I have ever done was for them, and this is no exception. Allie. What? She is to continue to suffer. I only did that for the safety of the whole. Was that worthwhile? Of course. I can tell you that right now she is crying. Why? Did you not say so yourself? Oh, that is only temporary sadness, but it was necessary. If I had not done that, everyone would be depressed. It ends her foolish dreams as well. Have you ever thought of not taking away her arm? Why are you even asking me these questions? You are not a therapist. You have only caused misery for me and my family. You, yes, but your family from now on will only benefit from my arrival. As for why I am questioning you, is her arm really gone? What? Her arm, Death Reza, was a threat. Killing anyone by a mere touch should not exist. We finally got to the house. Everyone was friendly as I expected. The tension began to escalate between Allie and my wife, leading to my clone eventually ordering for me to take the hairs out of my daughter. At first, I was hesitant, though I knew if I did not, the copy would cause even more problems. Therefore, this was for the family. This is an act that I was coerced into. The next moment were painful as my daughter was yelling so helplessly and crying profusely with my family was the only reason I could bring myself to doing this. A week or two later, I was to sleep in the basement with a candle and blanket in a small corner near the door. The place was certainly not as lavish as my bedroom, but I found comfort in the humble room with its dim lighting. Oh, also, I forgot to mention there were many shelves containing a variety of books as well as old photos from my childhood. They had accumulated dust and had a couple of rips here and there. To my knowledge, my fake has not done much of anything since I could only go out during mealtime. My clone was to do all the housework along with the tasks at the Shellyhaga. Many times, I would try to look outside through the small crack at the foot of the door, although I only saw a shining light. One day, I found something particularly interesting, a small white slip of paper with my mother's signature. It read, Dear Father, in my many years alone, I have done so many wonderful things. I have married the man you have always wanted for me and got a successful job at the Alihaga. My neighbors, co-workers, and even my boss are extremely kind and talented, but I have been thinking since the day he died, after the day I brought him back home, I have been constantly thinking, is life really living? Last yesterday, I met a man with a suit at the beach with a truly eccentric personality, but at the back of my mind, I knew he was not really living. His soul bred life and hospitality, though he himself did not feel alive. I might be going insane, however, in my work I have experienced something similar. Say, for example, a perfect replica of someone existed who is not quite alive as they are just a clone of someone else, but their traits, appearance, and soul are the same. Even if they were tainted by the evil hand of death or were lacking certain qualities to the original, that is the equivalent of a person picking up or losing a skill or philosophy with the soul of the human retained. Therefore, the clone and the original are both living, and I am inclined to believe they are the same in essence. Many may disagree, speaking that the core of someone cannot be copied perfectly, only their external values. Those people do not firstly understand that a person's soul can be copied, since just as a lion cannot hide their true nature in the sight of a deer, a person cannot conceal their soul. Therefore, I am to think that a copy of someone is not immoral, but a logical replacement for someone lost. Sincerely, Tali Tukwal. Clearly, my father was right to not speak of her because these beliefs are completely trash, worse than Allie's dreams of. Allie, how could I have done those things to her? No, this is for my family, the greater good. A book fell on top of my head before I could complete my thought. There was a poem at the front that read, Mr. Face always knows where one must go, while the chosen man grows. Mr. Face always stays full. Many do not understand Mr. Face's wonderful way. These men are put in sand. Some of these people do not pay. Mr. Face plucks all their hairs. Others do not love the gift. Mr. Face drowns them in despair. Worst of all, men who change their gift. They. I do not know. It has never happened before. I knew at that instance that Mr. Face was my clone with his constant mentioning of these gifts and plucking hairs, although what were his intentions, his wonderful way. Mr. Face entered the room. Anemone, I want you to punish her, he commanded. No, why would I ever do such a thing? She killed Pietra. Chapter 3.5, Denial. No, she couldn't. What kind of trick of a pulling? She is a threat to the safety of our family. I can't. She would not. She could not. No. The safety of everyone. Proof she did it. He held the remains of a dead Pietra in his hand in perfect condition. It must be that cursed Allie, the only one who could have left Pietra without a scratch. I cannot believe I even let pity for her for a slight moment, that killer. There is not a drop of remorse in her eyes for killing a newborn child whose hands just touched this wretched world. Ali. He stopped me by taking Pietra's eyes out with her hollow sockets, turning a bright crimson a sign of necromancia, Anemone's arm, which could revive people as shells of their former selves. No, it was not red, but a particular shade of pink, since Anemone is no monster, only a victim to Ali's crimes, a helpless little girl living with the devil herself. Anemone could never hurt anyone, not even a fly. She swore she would never use her arm, and has been keeping that promise for the last 6 years. Ever since Ali was a child, no, even when Al was alive, that Ali had no intention of befriending him, instead allowing her jealousy to take hold. I vividly remember that day. Ali had told me that Al was not to be trusted since he never took her opinion into account, only Anemone, but obviously I responded that she was just not as rational as her older sister. Later on, the day of Anemone's wedding, we gathered round to the fire until Ali brought a strange gift, followed by her leading Anemone into her bedroom like a fisherman luring in his unsuspecting fish, a golden one at that. Something which could feed their village for months on end. However, the horrific algae would spread across the pond as a plague in the creature's absence. For an hour or so, I began to suspect something was wrong. At first, I only thought Ali was being shy as usual, but Anemone left the room limping. She said she had accidentally hit her leg on a wall in excitement for Ali's gift, though there were no bruises, not even a scratch. Afterwards, Al grew ill with no one to take care of him. He was constantly coughing and sick, though he insisted on Anemone, who could not walk to him, could help him. He was suffocating in the algae.